Dear friends, Bruchim Habaim, Dabro Pajalovit, hello, and welcome, one and all, to YCT's Chag HaSmicha 5784. My name is Rabbi Yonah Berman. I'm YCT's Dean of Initiatives and a proud graduate of the class of 2007. We acknowledge those joining us on Zoom tonight from across the globe, from Canada, from the UK, from Australia, where it's tomorrow, and from Israel. We thank Matisse and Mark Aronson for supporting our closed captioning of tonight's event, and for their support of our accessibility initiatives throughout the entire yeshiva year. A special welcome to members of YCT's Board of Directors, and to the many Rabbaniyot and Rabbanim in this room, members of YCT's faculty, as well as 20-plus graduates of YCT, soon to be 25-plus graduates of YCT, in the room tonight representing our previous 20 Smicha classes, who are joining us right here this evening. Special shout out and Bruchim Habaim to the Kahana family, to Rav Rani, who made it all the way from Montreal. Thank you for joining us. And I'll ask all of the Rabbanim and Rabbaniyot in the room to rise for a moment as we show kavod to your Torah and thank you for what you represent. Please rise. Special mazel tov tonight to Rabbi Jeffrey Fox, the Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat Maharat, who's celebrating the 20th anniversary of his smicha. He'll tell you that he was in the class 0 of YCT, and the Rosh Yeshiva can have his own shita. And a mazel tov to our beloved Dean, Rabbi Chagai Reznikov, celebrating 10 years since your smicha tonight. Friends, we acknowledge that this festive ceremony takes place in the context of so much suffering in the world around us. Our hearts remain focused on Israel on this, the 244th day of the war. We feel the pain and loss of so many from so many backgrounds, and pray for the safe and speedy return of those displaced from their homes in the north and south of Medinat Yisrael, for the safety of our chayalot and chayalim, for continued healing for those who have been wounded, for comfort for those who have experienced the lost loved ones and friends, and for the immediate return of our hostages. A number of individuals in this room have lost close friends and relatives on and since the horrific events of October 7th. Barry and Esty Rosekind continue to mourn the loss of their close friend, Lieutenant Sahar Saudian. Rabbanita Vera Zlatschauer and Rabbi Dov Linzer continue to mourn the loss of their nephew, First Sergeant Maoz Morel. And Shemi Feintuck and Rabbi Yafa Epstein, a member of YCT's Board of Directors, continue to mourn the loss of their nephew, Major Yakir Hexter, among others. Zichronam livracha. May their memory be a blessing. In memory of those who have fallen, and with the hope for security and peace for the people and state of Israel, we invite you to please rise if you're able, as Rabbi Yafa recites the Tefillah L'Shlom HaMedina.
Avinu Shabashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'Goalo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmicha Keulatenu, Hagen Aleha be'efrat chasdecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha, Ushlach Orcha v'Amidcha, L'Rosheha, Sareha v'Yoatzeha, V'taknem be'itzat tova milfanecha. Chazek et Yedei Meginei Eretz Kodshenu, V'hanchilem Eloheinu Yeshua, V'ateret Yitzachon Teatrem, V'natata Shalom ba'aretz, V'simchat olam liyoshveha. V'et achinu kol beit Yisrael kodna b'chol artzot pezurenu, ותוליכנו מהרה קומיות לציון עירך ולירושלים משכן שמך, ככתוב בתורת משה עבדך, אם יהיה נידחך בקצה השמיים, משם יקבצך אדוני אלוהיך, ומשם ייקחך. והביאך אדוני אלוהיך אל הארץ אשר ירשו אבותיך וירשתה, והיטיבך והרבך מאבותיך. ומל אדוני אלוהיך אל לבבך ואת לבב זרעך, לאהבה את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך, למען חייך. ויחד לבבינו לאהבה וליראת שמך, ולשמור כל דברי תורתך, ושלח לנו מהרה בן דוד משיח צדקך, לפדות מחקקי תשועתך, והופע בהדר גאון עוזך, על כל יושבי תבל ארצך, ויאמר כל אשר נשמה באפו, אדוני אלוהי ישראל מלך, ומלכותו בכל משלה. Amen, Selah.
Amen. You may be seated. Thank you. As we prepare to receive the Torah anew, as we celebrate Shavuot in less than a week from now, let us remember the first voice ever heard at Har Sinai. Moshe, Moshe, God calls to him from the burning bush. Without hesitation, Moshe answers, Hineni, here I am. Just as Avraham answered God before him, so too Moshe answers. Just as Avraham exemplified a Torah of going, as described by our Rabbi, Rabbi, a Torah of being present, of being a voice for justice and for righteousness, la'asot, tzedakah u'mishpat, Moshe too rose up and courageously fought for justice for his people, for our people. And it took some plagues, some travel, and some time, but Moshe succeeded in leading our people back to Mount Sinai, where they stood, receiving the Torah that is the blueprint for both our creation story and for the redemption which we will all take part of by being part of that Torah legacy in this world. This has been a year of Hineni moments for our students, for our alumni, and for our network, as our rabbis have risen more than ever to stand for and with our people. Rav Shai Weitzman took a quick break from his combat duties to officiate at a fellow soldier's wedding in the midst of their military service. Rav Shuki Glassman spent the past 8 months helping to repatriate the remains of the fallen. Rav Avidan Friedman has conducted 2 hunger strikes, one in Tel Aviv and one in Geneva, raising national and international awareness for the hostages and their families. I'm talking a little too fast for the slides. Teaneck native Rav Eitan Yammer has spent the war's many months defending his own home community of Efrat. YCT has run 3 missions to Israel, bringing our staff, supporters, students, and alumni to personally embrace those affected by the events of October 7th. Those missions reconnected with our Rikma, Rabbanim, and Rabbaniot and showed them that no distance is too far to travel to support Am Yisrael. Our January mission visited the Shiva of a non-Jewish soldier in the Bedouin city of Rahat this past January. Our rabbis in the field throughout the world continue to stand for Am Yisrael in the face of anti-Semitism. Rav Adam Shire has led his congregants to protest in defense of the Canadian Jewish community. He's advocated for Am Yisrael with Canada's Prime Minister, reminding him of the pain that Klal Yisrael feels at this time. And when a Palestinian child was senselessly murdered in the Chicago area, Rabbis Hodi Nimis and Ari Hart visited the family's imam to offer condolences. When the American Jewish community gathered in Washington, D.C., our rabbis from across the country brought their kihilot to stand together and raise a collective voice. Our rabbis, including Rabbi Stephen Exler of this synagogue, build bridges with other local rabbis and with elected officials, offering gratitude for their support, their friendship on a variety of issues. Tonight, we single out our Hillel rabbis, some of whom are in this room right now, from across Canada and the United States. Rabbis Linzer, Katz, and myself have visited almost all of our college campuses this year. Places like Brown, Hofstra, Princeton, Penn, GW, and others, and our alumni leading the Jewish community on those campuses consistently report that our efforts to support them are so important to their continued work. Our Rabbinim proudly, constantly, and consistently respond to the calls of God and of humanity. Hineni. We're ready to serve. We're ready to get to work. Tonight's guest of honor, that's you. Over the past few years, I've seen each of you in the field already at work, getting that work done effectively, maturely, dare I say it, rabbinically. Whether co-officiating together with me at the funeral of a Holocaust survivor or hunger striking in Geneva for our hostages, Ellie, you have shown your compassion and composure under stressful circumstances. Dvir, using your prophetic mind and voice to combine art and Torah in ways that challenge us to better bring our tradition to our people and to the world. I've seen you embrace a man sitting Shiva for his family, murdered on October 7th. Embracing him quietly and with love. Barry, working alongside you to memorialize a victim of the attacks by writing a children's book in partnership with his family, always bringing your ahavat ha'am ve'aretz to the fore. Joining you, Dimitri, as you gathered your Jews, many of whom are in this room right now, on your Harlem rooftop to celebrate the birth and naming of your child, feeling the love that they had for you, which was a reflection of your ceaseless work for them. And Adam, volunteering with you to help feed, clothe, and escort Ukrainian refugees as they took their first steps into safety, feeding them pepperoni pizza while we did it. I saw your willingness to go anywhere and everywhere to help in any way that you can. Next time, I will ask that you not cross the border into the Ukraine and have cell phone service outages. Students, colleagues, I thank you each for the many opportunities that you've given me to learn from you, to be inspired by you, and now to share in this holy work together with you in our expanding community of Rabbaniyot and Rabbanim in the US, in Israel, and around the world. Individuals comprising and leading community rooted in Torah and always ready to go the extra mile and to say, Hineni.